So last week I went to a high-level mastermind in Phoenix in the US with a bunch of entrepreneurs who were all doing really, really well. And during that time, like there were speakers and like there was a lot of things going on. So obviously I took a lot of notes, a lot of ideas of things I can implement to grow my business, right? And on the last evening, I went out to dinner with some people and they all told me the same thing. I wrote down all these ideas, and one of them, he said something interesting. Like he said, like, I feel my brain is melting down because of all these ideas, and I don't know where to begin. But tomorrow I'm just going to implement a lot of it. And I told him, like, wow, that's actually crazy, right? Like, yes, it's awesome to go to an event and get a lot of ideas, write all the ideas up, get a ton of inspiration. But the worst thing you can do is then all of a sudden implement all these ideas, right? Because in the moment, all of these ideas seem like they're the best ever, right? In the moment, they seem like this is the thing you should do. But here's the problem what a lot of entrepreneurs have. They get a ton of ideas, right? They were probably working on things that are working, right? They're probably working on growing their business, trying to do things to help grow their business and things that already work. All of a sudden, they go to an event, get a ton of ideas, they drop what they're doing and start working on whatever ideas they just got, which to me is insane. It doesn't make any sense because you're just crippling yourself. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I'm not saying that all these new ideas are not great. Maybe they are, right? But just to drop something just because it seems like a great idea, because initially in the first day, they're all going to seem like a great idea, right? That's the way our brain works as an entrepreneur, doesn't it? So what I started doing a couple years back is whenever I get a great idea, right? I write it down, as always. Like, I write it down, make sure it's there. But then I'm not allowed to touch it for 2 weeks. Right? 2 weeks, I'm not allowed to touch it. And if after 2 weeks, I still think it's a great idea, that's when I'm allowing myself to maybe start working on it, right? So I call this my idea quarantine. So every idea I get, I put it into my idea quarantine. And I wait for 2 weeks to realize, like, is it actually gonna make sense? Is it actually, like, is this as good as I thought it was? Because usually, like, a lot of ideas, they will work for your business, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it will work better than other things that you were already doing, right? So it's not so much, the question isn't like, is this idea gonna work? The question is like, is this going to work better than any of my other ideas, right? Because you should go for your best ideas where you get the most output in the minimum amount of time spent, or the minimum amount of money spent or resources spent, right? And it's not just about, is this going to work? Because you can do 1,000 things in your business that's going to work, right? But if they all work a little bit, you spend a lot of time, and you get each time you get a little bit of result, well, you should go for like something where you have massive impact with minimum input. And that's really how you grow your business faster. So next time you're getting a ton of ideas, next time you go to an event, write down all these ideas. Be excited, get that energy for sure, write it all down, but don't allow yourself to start working on it for 2 weeks. And once you've done that for a while, once you've gotten used to the 2 week quarantine, then you can make that a bit shorter, but not initially. Like right now, my ID quarantine is like a week because I know, like, I'm not tempted anymore. And yes, every once in a while, there will be something going on, some idea that you know, it is like, this is a great idea, but it's only going to work if I act right now. Sometimes that happens, but most cases we just think we have to act right now because usually there's no particular reason why it needs to happen right now, right? Or that it's going to matter if it's a week later. Because, like, imagine you would have the idea a week later. Would the idea have been worthless, right? So unless it's something that you really, really, really need to act up on right now, put it in your quarantine, wait for 2 weeks. If you still think it's a great idea, then you can start working on it, right? And if you've gotten used to this whole system, then you can shorten that to a 1 week period. But initially, go for 2 weeks. And that's how you keep your mind sane. That's how you prevent your brain from blowing up. It's Wilco the Kreij here with all of you, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time.